really beginners friendly yoga flow. And so I want to make sure that if you don't have a yoga mat or if you're not on carpet, make sure you have a blanket or a something soft, maybe a towel that you could put underneath your knees, just in case you notice any pressure or discomfort in the knee joint. Okay, so we're going to get started. We are going to begin in child's pose. Child's pose, you're going to tuck your big toes together and your knees are going to be about the distance of the mat. So make sure the knees are not together. The knees are a little bit farther apart. You're going to sit on your heels and then you're going to extend your arms forward and place your head on the mat. So this is child's pose. It's one of the most gentle poses in yoga. And if at any time today you feel discomfort, just return to this pose. Child's pose is where you can come at any time during the practice for a little bit of a break. So just relax here in child's and breathe deeply in and out of the belly. Gently roll your forehead from side to side. Just gently waking up the body, gently rolling the forehead. From here, on the inhale, come on up to tabletop where the knees are about the distance of the hips and the hands are about the distance of the shoulders. Inhale your left hand up to the sky. The left hand inhales up. And on the exhale, send the hand down to the ground through the hole that your arm has created. Drop your head to the mat. If you notice that this feels a little easy for you, you're welcome to take your right hand up in the air and place it on your lower back. You might want to even slide it into the thigh crease, that little gap in between the thigh and the belly. Just try to do that and then focus on opening up both your shoulders. Don't let that chest collapse to the ground like this. Keep that chest nice and open. Go ahead and release and push yourself up gently back into a neutral spine position. Inhale the right hand, the opposite up into the air. Inhale. And exhale, send the hand down through the hole that the arm created, dropping the head to the mat. Take the left hand in the air if you'd like, and place it either on the lower back or in the thigh and hip crease. Gently inhale and exhale, and keep that shoulder, the top left shoulder, from falling to the mat. Go ahead and release and come back up to a neutral spine for just a moment, because then we're going to come onto our bellies. Take your hands out in front of you. Come up into Sphinx pose. So place your elbows on the mat and your fingers are spread nice and wide like starfish. And then focus on lifting your chest up and pressing your pelvis into the mat. Clench your glutes just a little bit. That clench will protect your lower back. And notice here that we're not really crunching down like this. We're really pushing out of the forearms, pushing up and out. It's a very gentle pose, but it's really dramatic too, really, really beautiful for waking up the spine and the shoulders and the arms. So go ahead now, on an exhale, look to your left, and inhale, look to the center. Exhale, look to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Back to center. Now drop your head to the mat, make a little pillow out of your hands. So just stack them on top of each other. So make that pillow, put your head on your hands, let your feet pop up into the air, and windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Just gently windshield wiper. Go ahead and stop that movement. Put the hands next to your chest and push back into child's pose, tucking the toes in together and folding backwards. As we just woke up the spine, we're really going to relax it now again in child's pose. It's called a counterbalance. All right, push back up into tabletop, that nice neutral spine position. Again, the fingers are going to be spread very wide like starfish. In yoga, we don't really have our hands like paddles ever. They're always spread nice and wide to protect the wrist joint. It also prohibits slipping from happening on your surface. If your fingers are wide, you have extra grip, no slip. All right, from our tabletop, we're going to go through cat and cow, very classic yoga poses. So on an inhale, you drop the belly really low and you look up facing the room. And on the exhale, you become a Halloween cat, arching the spine and creating a C shape. Inhale, face the room, drop the belly low, really connect with your breath here. And exhale, become the cat, tucking the tailbone, pushing out of the hands, really feeling the activation in all the arms. And inhale, drop the belly super low, continue to push out of the palms of the hands to gain more height. Exhale. Inhale. And last time, each direction, exhale. And inhale for cow. Beautiful. Now, neutral spine again. We're going to do 3 hip circles to the left. So just circle the hips. Big circles. 1, 2, and 3. We'll do 3 big circles to the right, opposite direction. 1, 2, and 3. Great job. Now with a neutral spine, you're going to extend your right leg back. Right leg extended. If you feel comfortable here, take the left hand out in front of you. And feel the body stretch in 2 different directions. Past the fingertips, past the toes, feel the stretch. If you feel stable and confident, take that left hand behind you, reach for the top of your foot, grab hold, and arch the back, looking forward. Release, back into neutral spine. Now we'll go for the opposite side here, taking the left foot back. And if you again feel nice and stable, try to lift the right arm up into the air. Nice counterbalance here. And again, take that right hand now if you can. Behind you, grab a hold of your foot. If you want to stay here, this is fine. But if you can arch your back, and look up, you'll get a nice opening of the spine. Release. Great job. Now here, take your hands, the palms of them, and the fingers, and switch the direction so that the fingertips are facing towards your body. Gently, it's just a super gentle rocking motion. You're going to put a little bit of weight forward and a little bit of weight back. It's such a minimal movement, but it's wonderful for really opening the wrist joints, for really encouraging some flexibility and mobility in them. So now, take the hands back where they were before, and then switch them so that now it's the tops of the hands that are on the mat. Again, we're just rocking super gentle, just a couple little rocks. Rolls forward. Now go ahead and sit back on your feet and just shake it out. You can roll your wrists a few times in each direction. Maybe 5 times each direction. You can create a fist out of your hands and act like you're dropping something out of your hands. Just do that maybe 10 times, continuing to open and activate this really delicate wrist joint. Great job. And one last shake if you need it. Go ahead. And then come back into table. From here, we'll come all the way down to our bellies again. This time, take your left hand out all the way to the side. So I'm taking my left hand and extending it at the level of my shoulder, just reaching it out really nice and far. Put your right hand next to your chest and put pressure in it. We're pushing in that right hand to roll our body. The right leg comes up and comes down onto the ground. So in this position, I'm stretching my left shoulder. I've kind of rolled my body weight so that it's putting pressure on that joint. Really gentle though. I mean, it's gravity that's doing this work for us here. So just enjoy this really passive stretch that has a lot of benefits. Go ahead and come back to center. And this time we're going to extend the right hand out nice and straight, reach. Put the left hand next to your chest and put pressure in the palm so we can roll onto our sides and letting that left leg pop up and left leg will plant the foot on the ground. Really beautiful and gentle stretch. A wonderful moment to connect with your breath. All right, and come on back to the belly, back to neutral. This time, we're going to push up, push back into child's pose just for a breath. Relax in child's. And on an inhale, push the body up, and then tuck the toes and come up into downward dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. So in downward dog, this time we're just going to bicycle the heels up and down. We're waking up our body. This might be the first time we've asked our hamstrings to move today. So we want to make sure we allow oxygenation, fresh blood, all that great stuff to start to move through our body. By bicycling the heels, we're encouraging that flow. Now go ahead and find your downward dog. Send your hips to the back. I'm really launching my hips. They're not, my center of gravity isn't really in the center. I'm pushing it backwards. Gaze between your legs or gaze at your belly button. That's the proper drishti. The eye gaze is actually the belly button. Your hands or fingers are spread super wide like starfish. And from here, go ahead, walk the feet forward, just 2 big steps. You're going to keep them about the distance of 2 fists apart. From here, grab your own elbows and hang heavy in ragdoll. Ragdoll is a really gentle pose. There's no right way or wrong way to do ragdoll. You just kind of shake your head, shake your arms. It's just a really loosey-goosey type yoga pose. Go ahead and release your hands to the mat, and then gently roll up your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Everything just kind of clicks into place. From here, you're going to go ahead and take your arms out, nice and wide, and touch your own shoulders. So when we're touching our shoulders like this, it's actually called Kihuni Namana. It's a very basic and easy anti-rheumatic yoga pose to encourage a healthy elbow joint. And so that's why this gentle motion is actually really beneficial. So now go ahead and stay touching your own shoulders, stay right here, and do big dramatic rolls involving the whole body if you can. Really feel the scapulas kiss in the back. Really feel the elbows pulled together in the front. Big circles. And now we'll go the opposite direction. So whatever way you went, just switch. My favorite one for a really healthy spine is just to swing from side to side. Just gently wrapping your arms around your body. And make sure you look behind you. Do not isolate your cervical spine from your thoracic. We're really allowing the full spine all the mobility it needs. And do not be at all squeamish if you notice some cracks or some little, joint noises. Just go ahead and let those happen. All right, and from here, come back to center and just gently roll the neck from left to right. It's kind of like a pendulum swing. I'm not letting my neck go behind me. I'm keeping it nice and just to the front. We're just going to do a few times more in each direction, swinging side to side. All right, together now, near the top of the mat. Yoga teachers usually say 2 feet from the top of the mat, but that's not actually 24 inches. It would just be about the distance of 2 of your own feet from the top of the mat. That's about where we start. We're going to do sun salutations together, 5 of them in a row. And sun salutation is called Surya Namaskara, and it's just a really beautiful opening of the body. It encourages, it's a balance. It's a 12 pose balancing act, and it's really lovely. So we'll do that together 5 times. So we'll inhale all the way up. Inhale and reach, look up. Exhale, we fold, drawing the hands through the heart all the way to the mat. Inhale, look up, flat back extension. All you do here is come to your fingertips. Even if you have to bend your knees, that's completely fine. Just come to your fingertips and look kind of in front of you by maybe about 1 meter. So we're going to plant the hands now, fingers spread wide, and step back into plank. So your options here is to do chaturanga with me by pushing down in a push-up position, or you can come all the way to your belly, just like that. It's your choice. Inhale, upward dog, or into a lower cobra, and then exhale into downward dog, rolling over the toes. We're going to hold downward dog for 5 breaths. Again, make sure, check in with your hands. Are your hands and fingers spread really wide? Check in with your hips. Are you sending them to the back wall or the back of the room? Check in with your neck. Is it nice and loose?
So now look in front of you, bend your knees, and just step forward, feet together. Inhale, look up, flat back extension. Exhale, fold, face your knees. And inhale, we rise all the way up, reaching up, inhaling, looking up. Exhale, hands to the heart, and all the way down. Inhale, again, Surya Namaskara, second round. Inhale up. Exhale, fold down to the heart. Plant the hands on the mat. Face your knees. Inhale, look up, flat back extension. Plant the hands, bend the knees, and step into plank. Now try to do the chaturanga with me by pushing down, push up triceps in close. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog, rolling over the toes and pushing back. This triangular shape of the body, we're putting a lot of pressure in our hands and every corner of our hands, every part of our entire palm, is really pushing back. So instead of doing downward dog or keeping so much of your weight forward like a push-up or a plank, we send our bodies back, pushing back, launching our hips skyward or to the back wall. And the knees look forward. We'll step 2 times, feet together. Inhale, look up, flat back extension. Exhale, fold, face your knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. Inhale, and exhale. Hands to the heart, and complete your exhale. Do third round together. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, flat back extension. Plant the hands, step into plank. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows in. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Really melt into your breath here. Really sink in and surrender to your inhales and your exhales. Feel this gentle flow of the body. Focus on being present. There's nowhere else to go. There's nothing else to do. Just focus right now. Downward dog. Bend the knees, look forward, and step, step. Up to your fingertips. Inhale, flat back extension. Exhale, fold, face your knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. Inhale. And exhale, hands down to the heart. Finish the exhale in Samasthiti. Inhale, reach up again, 4th time. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Plant the hands and step into plank. Push down, chaturanga, elbows in really close. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog, rolling over the toes. Probably feel heat being generated in your body. Maybe your breath is coming a little faster. Just try to keep a samavriti pranayama, which means even breath, where the inhale is the same length as the exhale. Just try to be conscious. If your exhale becomes longer or shorter, just notice what's happening with your breath and try to even it out. Now look forward, bend the knees, step and step. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. Finish the exhale down. Last time, a celebration. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, flat back. Plant the hands and step into plank. Push down in chaturanga. Look forward. Inhale, upward dog. Look up. Exhale, downward dog. Look in between your legs or at your own navel, your belly button. Bend the knees and step forward again. Step, step. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back. Beautiful job. Inhaling up. Exhaling, hands to the heart. And all the way down. Beautiful job there, everyone. It's hard work. So from here, we're going to inhale our hands up again. But I'm going to grab a hold of my left wrist with my right hand. Grabbing a hold. I'll inhale, look up. And on the exhale, I will curl my body in a C shape, almost if I'm between two planes of glass. Inhale, come up. And exhale, I'm going to switch my grip again. My left hand now grips my right hand. Exhale, we curve our bodies to the opposite side. So I'm pulling my right arm to the left. Inhale up, switch sides, and exhale. Inhale up, switch sides, and exhale. Last time. Inhale up, look up, and then exhale the hands with intention. Draw the hands in prayer. Bend your knees, and with the hands in prayer, take your right elbow to your left knee and sit down in this kind of twisted chair pose. Right elbow, left knee, a beautiful stretch for your scapulas. And still squatting like this, bring your hands to center and switch sides. So it's your left elbow pressed on your right knee. Focus on not letting one knee dive forward. Keep your knees in alignment. Release the hands to the mat and come on up with a slow spine. Slow curl up the spine. Roll the shoulders up and down. Interlace your hands like this, but behind your back. So we're going to interlace our hands, drawing the shoulders away from each other. And on an exhale, we'll launch these Pasarita C arms over our bodies. Go ahead and bend your knees a little bit. There's no need to have a straight leg in this pose, but make sure then you relax your neck. Heavy head, soft neck. Here, release the arms all the way to the mat, and then scoot your feet out again so they're about 2 fist distance apart. Make hooks out of your peace sign fingers, so those 2 first fingers we're going to hook on to our big toes. Closing the hook with the thumb, we'll inhale, look up, and exhale, fold, facing our knees. Asana. Foot to finger pose. Completely fine to bend the knees as much as you need to keep the chest pressed under the thighs, to do anything you need to make this pose more accessible for you. Go ahead and modify. We just want to try to get our hands to our feet, even if it's hard to reach normally with straight legs. That's why we need to bend our knees. It's completely fine either way. Release the hands. Let's place them on the hips, and we'll rise up slowly. Great job there. Release the hands, and bring them back to the heart, and close your eyes just for a breath.
just did some hard work. So let's just connect with our heart and our breath again. Notice heartbeat. Notice if your breath is coming. Gently open the eyes, looking in front of you again. Release the hands. Keep me about the 2-foot distance from the top of the mat. We'll inhale the hands up. Exhale, we're going to fold forward, just like we've done before, but this time, just take the right foot back, almost in a lunge position. Right foot back, drop the back knee and foot to the mat. Now from here, bring your hands on top of your knees. Kind of focus on kind of getting into this pose, really sinking so that you can feel your pelvic muscles and all your awesome muscles around that pelvic bowl really opening. You want to stretch and kind of push your weight forward almost so you can sink into it. Come to a little bit forward, tend to your fingers, and then shift the weight back for kind of a half splits almost. It's called Ardha Hanumanasana. So I'm drawing my toes towards my nose and I drop my head towards my knee. So if that was confusing, I came from this lunge position with tented fingers, just rolled, then shifted my weight backwards and pulled my toes towards my nose and dropped my head towards my knee. Just hold it for 2 more breaths. Come forward, lift the back knee, tuck the toes, that lunge position again. Plant the right hand next to the foot and extend the left arm up into the sky. Nice extension, twisting lunge. And draw the other hand, the left hand towards the mat. Come into plank. Push down into chaturanga. Push up, upward dog. And push back into downward dog. So now take your right foot up into the air. And then the right foot will come forward in between the hands. So we can do the opposite side. Drop the left knee and the left foot to the ground. Take both hands on top of the knee. Kind of sink forward again, right? Kind of push a little bit down with your hands. I'm not on the kneecap. I'm on my thigh. Make sure you're not putting pressure on any part of that gentle knee joint. The knee was once described as like grandmother's teacups. The knees are very gentle joints, very precious, very delicate, and we have to treat them like that, like serve. Now tent the fingers next to the feet and shift the weight back. Pull the toes towards your nose and drop your head towards your knee for Ardha Hanumanasana. Come forward again. Plant the left hand, tuck the toes, bring that knee up off the ground again, and take that right arm skyward. That twisted lunge pose. Both hands to the mat. Push back into downward dog. Take your left leg up in the air, left leg up. And draw that knee towards your nose. And then drop that left leg in between your hands. We're to twist the back foot parallel to the edge of the mat and come up into Warrior Two. So if you'll notice here in Warrior Two, my back foot is at this angle where it's parallel to the back, and my front leg launches towards the front of the room. My chest will face the side. My arms will go out, and then my head looks in front of me. Notice it's not my entire chest coming to meet the front of the room and the front of my mat. It's only my head that meets it there. Now take your back hand forward to meet your left hand and draw a bow back, a bowstring. Now do it again by reaching your right arm forward and draw a bow back. Again, arm forward, last time, and draw a bow back. Beautiful variation on Warrior Two. Now flip that front hand and launch it over your head, reversing and revolving your warrior. Slide that right hand down your back leg. Feel a stretch, side body. Come on, back. Pinwheel the arms towards the mat. And draw your feet back together in downward dog. Your feet are about the distance of your hips, your hands about the distance of the shoulders. You're spread wide. And now your right leg lifts up, three-legged dog, right leg up. Draw the right leg towards the nose and shift the weight forward, and then drop the right leg in between the hands. Thin the back leg, the back foot, so that the back leg is parallel to the back of the mat, and pinwheel the arms up and forward. Really sink in to your Warrior Two. Again, make sure your chest faces the side wall, and only your head is what faces forward. Once you feel stable and steady and strong, take your left hand to meet your right and pull a bowstring back. Again, left hand meets the right and pulls the bowstring back. Last time, left hand and the bowstring back. Stabilize, and then flip the right palm and let that left hand slide down the back of the leg. Revolved warrior. And back and pinwheel the arms down. Draw both legs together in downward dog. Take a few breaths here. Steady yourself. Bend the knees and place them on the mat. Slide the feet to the side and come back down to seated. Yeah, we're done with the standing poses. So we're going to extend the legs out in front of us. Place our hands next to our hips. And all we're going to do is try to sit as straight as possible. I'm pulling my toes towards my nose, activating the entire leg muscles. I am tucking my chin towards my chest. I am pushing through the palms of my hands, lengthening my spine. This is called Dandasana, staff pose. You're just trying to be as strong and straight as a staff. And go ahead and release that tension out of the body, all that activity we just built. We're going to bend the legs into butterflies. So just place your palms or the soles of your feet together. Lace your fingers and go ahead and just feel the butterfly kind of wiggle. You can definitely wave, or you can steady it and just try to get your knees closer to the mat, closer to the ground. Just by being conscious of your body, try to draw the legs a little bit closer, centimeter by centimeter. Let go, release, keep your right leg bent. And from here, with your right leg bent, we're going to put it against the inner thigh. And then instead of having your left leg straight in front of you, take it off the mat just a little bit so it's at an angle. It should be pretty easy to reach forward now with your left hand to grab a hold of your toes. So try to get a hold of your toes if you can with the hook. Take your right hand behind you, like an airplane wing, and then reach on over towards your toes. The goal is not to get to those toes. The goal is to stretch the side of the body right over here, the obliques. Just get a nice little stretch in, and then release it and come to the other side by taking the left leg, tucking it in, moving the right leg not in front of you, to the side. Hook on to your toe. It should be pretty simple. Take the left hand behind you and then launch it overhead. A very gentle oblique stretch. And if you find that this is hard to hook on your toe, I once had a teacher that would hang out here, keeping her, instead of touching the toes, touching her cheek. And she would just hang out minutes on end, getting a nice oblique stretch. So either way is fine. Come on back to neutral. From here, take your feet about the distance of your mat, maybe a little bit more narrow. Put both of the hands behind you. The palms are going to face away, or the fingers away from you. And what you're going to do, it's pretty easy, so don't overthink it. Just drop your knees to one side. So my knees are going to the right. From here, I'm letting my right hand stay behind me, and I'm taking my left hand in the air and launching my hips up. And come back to the mat. Put the hand behind you and bring your knees back to center, and then drop them to the other side. Your left hand will stay behind you if your knees are to the left like mine. Reach your right arm up into the air, kind of pushing your hips forward to get a nice lower back release. Back, and we'll do each side one more time. So your knees to center, drop to the right, right hand behind you. Inhale up. Exhale down. Release that both hands to the mat. Switch the direction of the feet. Left hand behind you. Launch the right hand skyward. Back. The mat. From here, take both of your legs out nice and straight. We'll bend the right knee now. The right knee is bent. Right knee goes on top. If this is enough, then stay here. But if you want a little deeper stretch, we're going to twist. Then you can bend the knee, the other knee underneath you. So either way you want, straight or bent is completely fine. So since the right knee is on top, I am twisting to the right. So my left elbow will hook onto my knee. My arm can go down or up. And I'll put my hand behind me and focus on looking behind. Give yourself some big inhales and exhales and really try to twist so you can see completely behind you. Come back to center. Release your legs however they were. Give them a little shake. Maybe you need a jiggle. Take your left knee now and bend it. Cross it over on top, left knee on top. Stay here, or take the left knee bent underneath you. So our left knee is on top, so we're twisting to the left. So my right elbow hooks onto my knee. My hand can either be up or down. And then I look behind me by planting that hand, my left hand behind me, and look. You might notice one side is easier than the other. That's very normal. Our bodies are clearly not in balance, which is why we need yoga. Great job. So we're going to release where we were, and we're going to come all the way onto our backs. So good. Always to come onto the back. Really let the body feel heavy here for just a moment before doing anything else. Allow yourself to feel connected to the ground and to the mat, your body, moment. Now we're going to take the right leg up in the air. It'll kind of bend to the side, the right leg, before we'll scoop it and hug it into our chest. I like to grab a hold of my own elbows, but if you just want to hug on using your hands, either way is fine. And we're going to inhale and then exhale every last ounce of breath out of the body. Let every single piece of air, every mote of air float out of your lungs. And once everything is out, more than you thought possible, we'll release the leg down to the mat. Now we'll do the opposite side by floating our left leg to the side. It's important to go to the side first before coming to the center. You can hug your shin or hook your elbows together on your shin and hug your leg to your chest. So if this is enough, beautiful. And remember to inhale and then exhale every single mote of breath out of the body. Once the last sip of air has been forced out, pushed out, then we release our leg down to the mat. We'll do both sides together now by taking both of our legs to the side before hugging them into the chest to the center. I like to hook onto my own elbows, but of course, take your hands on your shin if that's where you are. Again, take a little inhale, just a short inhale, and then exhale all of the air out of the body. Really beautiful massage for your internal organs. Active compression. Go ahead and release once every bit of air is out. There's no hurry, so take your time to get the air out. Now from here, we are going to bend our left knee and place the left foot on the ground. The right leg will float up and make an L shape, kind of a 4 shape out of our legs. We'll pop our legs into the air and reach through with the right hand to grab a hold of the shin with the left hand. They'll meet. If this isn't possible on the shin, then stay on the thigh. We want to make sure our heads can stay on the mat. We want to make sure we're really relaxed. We can even close our eyes. The end of our practice, we're just finishing with a couple poses. So we really want to make sure we're comfortable. And this is a variation of pigeon pose where we're letting gravity do its work. We're asking gravity to bring our legs closer to our face. We're pushing a little bit to try to draw our legs closer to our faces. It's a great stretch for your inner adductors and your hip muscles. Sometimes everything can get so tight in there from memories, from traumas, from just sitting and working that, from never sitting in cross-legged and always in a chair, that it's really important and so beautiful to give our body opportunities to open. Go ahead and release. Let everything go straight. We'll meet just for a moment of symmetry before we'll bend our right leg, right foot on the mat. Left leg will float into the air, come onto the knee. Again, my foot is kind of flexed. I'm not sickling my leg. I'm not pointing my toes. I'm flexing my foot. I bring my legs up. I reach for my shin with both hands, if not possible on the shin, the thigh, the meaty part of the thigh. Never the kneecap. And then we relax here. Remember, eyes closed, breaths long and deep. Samavriti. Appreciating these last moments of our practice. Melt a little bit for a few more breaths in the last poses. Release our legs. all the way out and straight. The last pose before Shavasana, before relaxation, be a universal spinal twist. So I'll take my right knee and float it into the air. The left hand connects with my right knee on the outer edge, and I pull my right leg to the left. So I'm asking my body to kind of twist. The right arm goes out like an airplane, and I look to the right. So it's a great big stretch for the whole spine. Back to center, both legs straight. Now the right knee is the one that floats up into the air. Or sorry, it's the left, it's the opposite. It's the left leg floating into the air. The right hand connects with the outer edge of that left knee and pulls it to the right. My left hand goes out like an airplane and I look to the left. We'll come back to center. Now entering Shavasana, the final yoga pose. So Shavasana translates to corpse pose, corpse, and so the goal is to just be as heavy, as, a corpse. And we want to be really relaxed. Just have the legs and the arms not touching the body, so nothing is tight and closed. It's all just hanging to the side, kind of relaxed. The only request is that your palms themselves, they face the sky. So just make sure your hands are not flipped to the ground, your hands are flipped to the sky. Once you're comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes and connect with your breath. And take a minute together here in Shavasana, maybe 2 minutes, just relaxing and breathing. Shavasana is an opportunity for our body to store all the information we just programmed into it, all the gifts we just gave it, all of the stretching and pulling and flexing, all of that, we're giving our bodies time to assimilate. Shavasana is one of the most important poses in all of yoga that allows our body time to recuperate, also time to assimilate. Just enjoy feeling connected and feeling present. Minute. Feeling the belly rise. And on the exhales, feeling the belly drop low. Time your mind wanders, just sweep it back to the breath, noticing how your inhales feel. Quick, dry, soft. Noticing the differences of each time. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and toes, just starting to wake the body up, getting a little movement. Draw your feet together and stretch in any kind of good morning stretch you would normally do when you wake up. Just a good morning stretch. And curl onto the right side of your body, kind of in a fetal position. A little cradle, a little hug. Just take a moment. Feel grateful for what you just gave your body. Time to be with the self and be present. Maybe trying something new, or maybe dedicating yourself once again to your daily practice. We'll push up using the strength of our arms. We push up into a seated position, anything that is comfortable for your body. Go ahead and close your eyes again. With your eyes closed, we'll draw our hands in prayer over our chest. And with the hands in prayer, we'll take a big inhale and feel the body rise. And a big exhale and feel the body melt. We'll bow slightly to the mat and we'll wish that all beings would be peaceful, all beings would be happy, and all beings would be led on the right path, free of suffering and free of sorrow. We'll inhale and come up and let our hands float to our foreheads. Our eyes are closed, our hands in prayer over our foreheads as we ask for positive thoughts. Our hands drift a little lower to our mouth as we ask for positive words. And our hands drift again lower back to our heart as we ask for positive actions and positive intention. Another big deep breath, inhaling and rising and feeling the lightness and brightness in your body. And exhale, feeling release of all tension, negativity. Feeling the body, let it go. We'll bow again very slightly and we'll close our practice by saying together, Namaste. Thank you guys so much for being here and joining me for this yoga class. I hope that it was relaxing and restorative and what you needed today. If you have any questions, don't hesitate at all to reach out to me. I'm on social media channels at Wild Yoga Tribe or on my email or website, wildyogatribe.com or wildyogatribe@gmail.com. So I hope to hear from you if you have any questions or if there's anything I can share with you or help you with. I'm here. Thank you.